Hello. There's some runners. Hey everyone, what's up? It's JD here from the Light of the Darkness. Here early on a Saturday morning at one of my very absolutely favorite places. I was on the way to drop off some donuts to my daughters, on the way to go take care of some things, and I had to stop and get a coffee drink for myself too, and I just wanted to stop very quickly out here because Lucifer's just been opening my eyes and sharing a lot of things with me here recently. And I know that there's a lot of changes coming again to our world. Some things that are not going to be the most pleasant or the easiest to deal with. However, we have had a taste of these things, so we know a little bit what to expect. Now this time will be a little bit different. Not necessarily though in a negative way. This second round of difficulties in our reality will make a little bit more sense this time to everyone, especially those that are tapped in. And when I say tapped in, those that have a relationship with particular spirits, especially Lucifer. For this is the kind of information and the types of lessons that he needs us to learn. And this is his method of doing that. It's always a very spiritual thing through a very through a physical means, typically. But ultimately, the gift and the reward is of a spiritual aspect coming from him. It's not to say that he can't help to heal you. It's not to say that he can't help you with your finances. But that's not something that I've really ever gone to him for necessarily. It's really all of a spiritual nature, spiritual growth nature. So as we are on the precipice here of some major things that are coming, things that have already been in the works, things that have been developed and worked on every single day, night and day, 24/7. They're scurrying around. They're putting it all together, trying to keep it all under lock and key, trying to keep it all hush hush. But I think that you can all feel it. I don't have to tell you. And again, I am not one of these people that likes to be a fearmonger, but I am one of these people that can feel and know what's coming when it's coming, as many of you. So this is an important time right now to tap in to your spirituality, to tap into your intuition, to open your third eye, but not to get carried away by some of the reality that you're going to see and experience, because that can be frightening. It's frightening for me a lot, actually. And I would caution, I would definitely caution those newer to the path to be careful, because you're not always going to like what you see. However, even though that's the case, it's necessary for growth. It's necessary for understanding. Now is the time to trust your intuition and to get close to those that truly, truly care for you and that will truly have your back. And the same goes for you too. You need to truly care for them, and you need to truly have their backs also. The time for selfishness in this reality is over. For our new reality will require a coming together in ways like as we did in the past and we have in the past, but this will be inherently different. A lot of us will be tested. We will be tested to the brink. But if you hold steadfast, you will rise above. You will. Just being vigilant right now, doing your best to take care of yourself and to have periods of soberness so that you can see what is going on and that you can actually be able to feel it. Because if you are inundated all the time with substances, you're not going to receive the messages. You're not going to be able to perceive the pings when they come to your radar. And I know that's hard. It's hard for me too, especially the more and more intense and stressful this reality gets. It's easy to want to escape. It's easy to want to do whatever you have to do to just not feel anything. But this is the time of feeling it. This is the time to feel it all, to feel everything, so that you can understand on a more spiritual level exactly what is going on. Because as we look around in our reality, things have changed so much that we can't even trust our own eyes anymore. We can't even trust what we're looking at to know whether or not that is reality, or is that something that it was created to make you believe another different thing. So discernment, intuition, tapping in, getting out in nature especially, getting out in nature especially, getting out of those four walls, getting out of that prison that many of us have put ourselves in. Putting ourselves in our own prison because of our own anxiety, our own fears, our own worries. It doesn't need to be that way. Set yourself free. And it's as easy as opening the door and walking outside. Feel the sun's rays on your face. Breathe the air. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Dip your fingers, your toes in the water. Ground yourself into this reality. There's a lot of people getting swept away by it right now. There's a lot of people that are overwhelmed right now. There's a lot of people that are scared right now. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I live in a pretty consistent state of worry at times, just because I do feel deeply for and care about what is happening in our world. And of course, there's nothing that I can do individually to prevent certain things or to make certain things happen. We can always magically direct these things, but some of these things are destined in one form or another, in one variation or another. It is destined. Certain things will happen because they need to, because they have to. And it's not in the name of destruction, it is in the name of evolution. Look at how far we've come. But we have unleashed certain beasts in our reality that are going to be difficult to deal with moving forward. And remember your magic. That's one of the final things that Lucifer was reminding me and wanting me to talk about, is to remember your magic, to remember that it's an ancient technology. So many of us are just like concerned with the things of this world, of this modern age, our phones, our computers, all of our little gadgets, all of these little machines and things that we use to try and make our lives easier. Inevitably, they've made it even more difficult in most cases and have really imprisoned us even further, to an even greater degree. But remember what your magic is. This is not play. In the ancient times, these people were not adorning themselves in certain regalia, dancing and chanting around a fire for the hell of it, using certain implements, making sacrificial offerings. All of these things, that is a technology. It's a spiritual technology that does result in actual, real, physical manifestations in this world. And the further we get into this types of technology, the further and further we get away from the ancient technologies that actually built and created this world to begin with. And just remember that like all of you can tap into that very easily. Just close your eyes and see the ritual. Close your eyes and see the sigils. Close your eyes and see the flicker of the candle, the flames of the fire, the water, the salt, the libations, the incense, all of it. Smell it even. Tantalize all of your senses. Jot it down, write it down, carry that ritual out. There's downloads coming to tons of you right now, especially after the super blue sturgeon moon. Things are going to begin to make more sense magically. But typically when that happens, the physical world makes less and less sense too. That can be a little bit of a conundrum sometimes. The main thing is to not be afraid. To not be afraid. It is fear that like holds you back from every little thing is fear, isn't it? Most of you will surprise the hell out of yourselves if you just give it a shot. If you're just willing to get out of your comfort zone, if you're just willing to put one foot in front of the other, today, tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. So many of you have already given up. And whatever I can do to help you, I certainly will. But I know there's a lot of you that have given up in life, really. You've given up on yourself. You've given up on the people that you love. You've given up on everything except for basically just daily surviving. Eating, breathing, pissing and shitting. Yeah. There's a lot of things that do that in the world. Most of them are in cages, and that sucks. So if you kind of look at it like that, you can kind of see where you're at. And is that what you want? Probably not. It probably doesn't feel too good. But that's always what we're chasing, right? What feels good. And ultimately that is the end goal for everything, right? It's just to feel good. Sometimes you have to not feel good for a little bit in order to get to a place where you can feel good. And you got to be willing to do that. So that's the message for today. There was more coming through, but it's just the cicadas out here are pretty intense today, and I can feel that energy. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I love you. Thanks to all the channel members. Thanks to all the subscribers. Check out J.S. Garrett and I's video on the ritual coming up on the super blue sturgeon moon featuring Lucifer, Lilith, and Leviathan. That video is on his channel and on my channel too from yesterday. Check that out. If you want to be a part of it, we would love to have you. But anyway, love you guys. Have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye.